Unit 6, Part 1, Drainage and Drainage Patterns. Drainage. So, the removal of surface or subsurface water from a given area. In geology, it will be termed as drainage. Drainage basin. So, it is a topographic region in which the water drains to a common outlet called a watershed. So here we need to be understanding the proper terminologies. So if it rains, the rainfall zone can be divided and subdivided into areas corresponding to a single stream called drainage basins. So this drainage basins will be divided by boundaries. It will be called as divides. Then the collection of channels in a drainage basin is called as a drainage network. Then in a drainage network of streams, there will be trunk, tributaries and sub-tributaries. You can see the image of a drainage. The dark line which is represented with D represents divides, and the sub-tributary, tributary and trunk. Trunk will be main river course, and tributary will be the supplying network, and sub-tributary will be the collecting network. Divides represents the boundaries between adjacent and following drainage basins. Next comes drainage pattern. So the spatial relationship of individual streams in the drainage basin, it will be called as drainage pattern. So the drainage pattern is governed by factors. So first thing, it is the stage of development, how a drainage pattern is developing in a location. Next comes initial slope, because slope decides the speed of the flowing water. So slope plays an important role. Next, rock hardness. Next, rock structure, and reason tectonism, because if the rock is very hard, it will not allow formation of streams through that particular region. If the rock is weak, then it will allow easy formation of streams. Then if the rock structure is also playing an important role in the formation of drainage pattern. If the rocks is having cracks, even though it may be hard rock, it will allow easy formation of streams. The next comes recent tectonism. The tectonic plates, when it is active, it will be easily breaking the rocks in that particular zone. Then it will result in easy formation of streams to create new drainage patterns. Next, drainage pattern. So first we are going to study about the stage of development. So assume an initial straight lined channel through which the water flows freely. As time passes by, it will start eroding and depositing and eroding the sediments on the walls of the channel. So if on the first beginning it will be fairly uniform, then as time passes by, it will be eroding, depositing and eroding. So this process will be continuously repeated again and again, and finally the irregularity of the channel will increase, resulting in braiding and other different patterns of drainage. Next, drainage basin. So the drainage basin is highly affected by denudation. The process of removing top cover soil or the top cover sediment in any location, it will be called as denudation. So it will the materials of denudation, it will be called as regolith, which will be produced by weathering and erosion. The denudation provides geological inferences of the drainage basin. Next, common drainage patterns. So these are all the names which is given by the scientists. First one dendritic, trellis, third one rectangular, and last one angulate. And apart from this, there is also other combinations of drainage patterns that can be commonly observed in any of the drainage basins. So here dendritic. So you can see that the branching tributaries or the branching streams, that will be from many directions, and usually the angles to the trunk from the tributary, it will be less than 90 degree. A dendritic pattern develops on rocks of uniform resistance without structural control. So flat lying sedimentary or massive igneous rocks can be having dendritic drainage patterns. So if you observe a dendritic pattern, the underlying rock could be a sedimentary rock or a massive igneous rock. So this is the pictorial representation of dendritic pattern. The next comes trellis. So trellis, here you can see sub-parallel system of drainage that will be aligned along the strike of rock, which means whenever there is a crack line, so this crack line will be used by the natural flowing water to form streams, and the formation between them, it will be parallel or nearly parallel. The topographic features, it could be influenced by wind or ice. The main streams often make nearly right angle bed to cross major ridges. So ridges here represents the mountains, and it will be crossed at right angle, which means at approximately 90°. The primary tributary streams are usually at right angles to the main stream. The secondary tributaries are usually themselves at right angles to the primary tributaries, and it will be parallel to the main streams. So when we go through the diagrammatic slide, you will be able to easily understand this particular explanation. So trellis patterns are most common in folded mountains like Appalachians, where alternating folded weak and strong layers have been truncated by stream erosions. So in the previous topic of the geology, I told you about folds in the mountains. So when you are having a folded mountain, in those kind of mountains, you will be able to easily identify the trellis pattern. So if there is a trellis pattern developed in a location, then the underlying mountain must be a folded mountain. So this is an example. So you can see that the river flows through, or the drainage flows through streams which are formed in the weaker portions of the rocks which are folded, and it is cutting the folds at the weaker sections. So this kind of you can see the valleys cut in less resistant rock and ridges of resistant. Ridges represent the peaks in the hills or the mountains. Next, rectangular. So both mainstream and its tributaries show right angle bends. So this reflects control exerted by joints and fault system. So in the previous topics of this geology subject, I taught you about elaborately in the topic of joint and fault systems. So when joints and faults are present in a particular drainage basin, so this will be the usual flow pattern you can observe. The next, angulate. So angulate, again here joints and fault system intersect at acute angles, which means less than 90°. Then it develops an angulate pattern. Next comes other drainage patterns. Centripetal. So in this kind of drainage system, when there is a low lying region between the hilly area, then the lines will converge to form a central depression like a sinkhole, crater or other basin. So in this case, you can see all the lines are pointing towards the center where the water will drain, and it will create a pond or a lake. Next, the other drainage patterns, radial system. So in case of examples or a single mountains or mountains which are isolated, you can find this kind of drainage systems where the central elevated track will be available. For example, a dome, a volcanic cone or isolated conical hills. From there, the rainwater will start draining into a radial pattern. Next comes parallel pattern. So here, when there is a strong slope control leading to regular spacing of parallel or nearly parallel streams. So on the sides of the mountains, when the mountains are very strong, it will lead to evenly spaced parallel streams, or sometimes nearly parallel streams will be available. Next comes the angular pattern. So around maturely dissected domes, for example, if the domes are being cut down by natural forces or even man-made works, then the flow lines will change accordingly. The weak portions in that particular rock or hill will be taken as drain lines, and this particular drain lines, as time passes by, will develop as a very good drainage pattern in this format. So here the weak portions of the rocks are again susceptible towards erosion. Thank you for this session and your patience. Again, I thank all the valuable works of intellectuals whose contents through online are used to prepare this presentation.